Welcome. Steve is the Finance Director for Majd Al Futtaim, Global Solutions heading Finance, Risk and Compliance. Steve has been as well in MAF for 6 years, joining initially as Finance Director for the Consumer Finance business before being promoted to acting CEO of the Consumer Finance Operations. Steve previously worked for Barclays for 11 years, holding a number of senior positions in consumer lending, cards, payments in the UK and Europe. Very nice to have you with us here, Steve, today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, Majd Al Futtaim has been one of the early adopters of Concur back in 2019. Can you share with us a little bit some insights about this journey and its benefits, specifically to growth at Majd Al Futtaim?
Yep, sure. So good morning, everybody. So exactly as you say, we first signed up with Concur in 2019. We signed a 3-year deal. We renewed last year. We were previously with a competitor solution. We ran an RFP process, and as you can imagine, of course, we looked at commercials, but we also looked at integration, as in how easy will it be to get it into our organization and what's available out of the box. But probably most importantly was user experience. So Concur was, stand out the best solution. We implemented it with Birchman. There's a number of people from Birchman in the audience today. In terms of the benefits and the impact that it's had on our business, probably 2 main areas I would call out. Firstly is user experience. So that's both the people booking travel or recording expense claims. It's an extremely intuitive system. We trained people. We offer online tips and reminders, but honestly, people don't need it. It's like you're booking your personal travel on one of the popular portals. The second part of user experience is the back end. So I work in finance. That's the department that I look after. The people that are tasked with reconciling and really understanding that information, their life has been made significantly easier by Concur. So that's the first part. The second part really is data, and there's been quite a lot of talk about that this morning already. But just having access to a wealth of information. To give you some sense, I think we have 30,000 expense claims a year, 3,000 travel claims a year going through the systems, tens of millions of dirhams. So we suddenly have extremely granular information on where we're spending our money in this very important area.
Thank you for sharing these insights of this journey. But recently, I know, and we've shared this together, that MAF has centralized a number of its units into shared services. Can you share with us a bit how did this affect the adoption of Concur in this journey? What were the challenges? What were the benefits? And what are things you wish you'd known since 2019, if we would say?
Yeah, sure. So exactly as you say, 2021 we set up shared services in MAF, a very popular strategy for lots of multinationals and privately owned companies. We brought together operational finance, HR, procurement, technology services, facilities, government relations, all in one place, headquartered here in Dubai, but most of our people in Cairo, about 100 people in India as well. So if we think about Concur, the first thing is that, and I should have said earlier, we initially deployed it into our cinemas business, lifestyle business, consumer finance, and entertainment. One of the first things that the CEO of the newly formed business asked for was Concur. So he had seen the benefits and the functionality and wanted it in global solutions as well. So we put it in place, and there was a lot that we could leverage from the previous deployment. I think the benefit of the benefit of Concur in global solutions has really been having everything side by side. So previously we had these operations across a number of different business units. Suddenly you have people literally in the same office, in the same location, with the same access to this information. And it allows much improved comparability, line of sight, and understanding as to what's going on. In terms of what we wish we knew sooner, I mean, of course, always learnings. Probably it would be around finding people sooner. When you're going into a new market, Egypt wasn't new for MAF, but shared services in Egypt was new for MAF. It took some time to find the people, to build the teams, and get that momentum. So that took a little while. We, of course, wish we'd found those people sooner, but once we were there, it's been a nice snowball and positive effect.
Come to Egypt in a bit, so we have some questions for Egypt. Looking forward, Steve, what are the future plans for Concur inside the organization, specifically for global solutions? What are the projects that you're considering inside your organization?
Sure. So if we start with global solutions more broadly, we've now been running, this is our third year. So previous priorities were around setting up, recruiting, getting core processes, controls, and everything in place. That's all now complete. So we're very much in a space of operational excellence and efficiency, and really making sure we're delivering world-class services. In terms of Concur, we've recently relaunched the product within GS. So we already had very good adoption, as I talked about some of the stats earlier, but we really want to make it absolutely universal. So we've relaunched it. We've just kicked off a project with SAP as well to run a health check, look at, is there anything we could do better? Is there learnings from around the world that we can incorporate to make sure we have the best instance and deployment of the system? Over and above that, we now have pretty broad coverage across MAF, but there is still a number of business units that don't use it. So, and that's for good reasons. You know, we have different technology landscapes in some of the businesses that make it more complicated timing-wise. But our vision and our aim is to deploy this system universally. We've seen the benefits. We've recently relaunched the group-wide travel policy, and the data from Concur has really helped us inform a number of those decisions. So, yeah, the short answer is, we like the product a lot. We advocate for it. That's why I'm here today, and we want to continue to grow it within the organisation.
We're looking forward to roll out this over all the group. And going back to growth and to finish on our last question, we discussed Egypt. We know that you're expanding heavily in this region, specifically in Egypt. How did Concur help you in this, and how did it support you in your growth in these instances?
Yeah, sure. So Egypt is a big and important market and economy. Over 100 million population, fast-growing, young population, and our setup of operations has been over the last few years, as I said. In terms of Concur specifically, there's a practical on-the-ground reality benefit of helping with travel and logistics and everything else. We've had a lot of travel between the UAE and Egypt over the last couple of years, myself included. So there's obviously core kind of day-to-day benefits that's delivered. But I would say over and above that, it's some of the stuff I touched on earlier of having data in one place, having teams from, be it from cinemas, from entertainment, from wherever, sat side by side and able to compare and contrast is really valuable. One of the probably lower level benefits we're seeing as well is retention and staff engagement is very important in shared services. We have the most granular information on what we're spending where. So we can see in teams, what we're spending on, for example, taking teams out for lunch, on training, on events and everything else. And we can see where that is higher and lower. And that enables us to identify hotspots if we should be spending a bit more and make sure we're investing in the right areas.
Yeah.